Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. We're back at the Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania Civic Arena as we get ready now for championship mud bog racing action. And believe me when I tell you that one of the most impressive fields of mud bog championship racers has assembled here this weekend in the Steel City. This is the Budweiser 1988 GC jet. It is powered by a nitrous oxide injected, alcohol burning, 509 cubic inch aluminum Rodex Chevrolet. And interestingly enough, it uses a 2-speed automatic transmission, the Power Glide transmission that GM produced back in the mid-1960s behind one of the most powerful engines in this sport. This is an honest-to-goodness 1,500 horsepower engine. Well, Melvin Brown, like I said, is not that familiar with this particular vehicle. Ron Haverty, the normal driver, had other commitments. And indeed, during preliminary action, Melvin Brown did very well.
And giving him an advice out there, that's his father.
Yep, it's hhis dad, who is the crew chief on the machine. You can see him shake hands with him on almost every run.
Watch him now.
Well, let's hope that's good luck for him.
See if you can do it.
2,150-pound Jeep running car in the mud. One of the strongest in U.S. Honda Association competition. And Melvin Brown and Ron Haverty's Budweiser-sponsored Jeep Flopper should do extremely well on this very, very sticky pit tonight. Tremendous launch and down the pole, and that will unfortunately disqualify Melvin Brown going out of bounds at the finish line. A tough, tough break.
What a shame, because he had such a good run there.
He saw the machine getting sideways near the finish line and got out of the throttle before he ever crossed the finish line. But as soon as he got out of the throttle, the rear end came around to the left, and that's what hit the pole. Let's watch the replay. We can see exactly maybe what caused the car to get that sideways. Seeing the initial launch, the front wheels literally off the ground, and a rough ride for Melvin Brown. That's something you don't see too often, as a machine taking that rough a ride through the pit. You can see all 4 wheels were airborne there. He grabs the steering wheel, yanks it to the right, trying to steer the car away from the berm, but then the rear end gets airborne. That was the problem.
What a
It
shame.
swings around and hits the pole, and that put him out. This is the brand new Shake Me 1932 Ford 5-window coupe, being driven by Tom Mintz out of Paxton, Illinois, a supercharged Chevrolet Biglock. This thing has been incredible in preliminary action, Shelley.
Well, you know, he's only 21 years old, and his sponsor, Sam Beck, has a lot of confidence in him.
That's for sure. They put together one of the strongest machines they could imagine. Like I said, a supercharged 466 cubic inch Chevy Biglock on alcohol, 2-speed Power Glide transmission. He will shift it at about the 70-foot marker on this 80-foot track. 1,500 horsepower of Chevrolet. Absolutely incredible! Upside down and into the safety net. Absolutely incredible ride for Tom Mintz. You can see Jim Harris, the event director, right there, as well as the paramedics and the safety crew. Mintz has motioned to him that he is okay. He says just roll this thing back over.
He had his bum up and out of the car.
He's absolutely incredible run.
He sure gave the crowd a scare, but the minute he got up, he got quite an ovation.
Listen to this. On the run, completely sideways at the finish line, airborne and on his head. 2.20 seconds.
And he's up and walking. Look at him.
Absolutely unbelievable. That's only 0.17 of a second slower than Tom Martin's quickest run ever. Look at that young man. Look at that young man. 21 years old on a 2.20 second run. Absolutely incredible. And here's the slow motion replay. The machine at half track just blasting across the mud. Look at the tires just skimming the surface exactly the way it should be done. Now it starts to bounce around and hook to the left. You can see him working the steering wheel in the cockpit, trying to keep it straight. He stays full throttle through the shutdown area. The kill switch cuts the motor, but look at this thing. The rear end literally 7 feet in the air, and here's the landing that put him on his head. Man, what a ride for this rookie.
This is something he'll have to call home and tell him about.
The number to beat, the incredible run by the Shake Me 1932 Ford, 2.20 seconds of this 80-foot pit.
Up next is Nitro Express, driven by Clay Langley. You know, Clay has a special message that he asked me to convey to his wife, Donna, who's recuperating from back surgery. He said to get well soon, and he's dedicating this run to you.
the motor. I don't know if that was just steam or smoke, but we can hear the RPM level drop substantially just off the starting line. And I don't even think Clay bothered to use the nitrous oxide injection on that run. It didn't look like that was exactly what he had in mind, Shelley.
I don't think so, but I still think Donna would be proud.
You can bet when he gets home, Donna will have something to say about it. She's a heck of a lady. I'll tell you, even with the problems, 2.80 seconds is right now good enough for the number 2 spot, and that's with problems on this brand new car, Shelley.
Well, he was sure able to hold on to it.
It was a rough ride. Like I said, it was not nearly as good as that 1932 Austin Bantam Roadster normally runs. But Clay Langley, like I said, is literally the old man of mud racing. If anybody can sort out this new chassis and make it competitive even without a supercharger, this guy will be able to do it, and he'll do it soon. This is Chad Miller from Vandalia, Ohio, who has run Ford Model T Roadsters in the past in mud racing. This machine powered by a nitrous oxide injected 509 cubic inch aluminum Rodex Chevrolet. Now the road...
I understand this is the lightest vehicle competition tonight.
That's right. It's only 1,950 pounds. Now the Rodex Chevrolet engine is an all-aluminum replica of a 454 Chevy engine. No cast iron parts whatsoever. Now he uses a Power Glide 2-speed transmission, one of the TCI high-performance models. He will ship this car and then hit the nitrous oxide. You'll see the actual power, or at least what appears to be the extra power, coming out of the exhaust pipes, and you'll hear it. A tremendous blast for Chad Miller. The instant team on one of the quickest runs of the night. The question is, was it quick enough to overtake the number 1 spot? The mark to beat, 2.20 seconds, and even Jim Harris, our event director, was thrilled with that effort. The mark to beat, like I said, 2.20 seconds. Let's look at the replay and see what happens as the machine leaves the starting line, wheels up. Miller's left-hand drive 1927 Ford T Roadster sticks with it. Look at the tire growth on this thing. Sticking with it all the way through, and here's the elapsed time. The mark to beat was 2.20 seconds. Chad Miller runs 2.21 seconds. By 1/100th of a second, Chad Miller is stuck in the second spot. This is Butch Graft from Mount Airy, Maryland, with his funny car style Jeepster. 427 cubic inch Chevy Rat motor, one of the L88 Corvette motors, as a matter of fact. Fuel injected, burning alcohol and nitrous oxide. Look at the safety equipment on this guy. The shoulder harness is a 5-point harness system. The neck collar that keeps your head from moving around too violently. And, of course, the full coverage helmet. All a part of U.S. Association safety rules for these incredible machines.
And you know, I noticed the tires up front are smaller than the ones in the back.
Because of the weight transfer on these machines, the front tires very seldom touch the mud. Therefore, most of the traction is delivered through the rear tires, even though they're four-wheel drive vehicles. It's still important to go 4 wheels on. Good launch, bouncing all over the place, and what a ride for Butch Graft from Mount Airy, Maryland. Tremendous run. You can see the machine really didn't even get that dirty. That's the way a mud run should be. The machine should just skim the surface of the pit, never really digging in. Beautiful pass.
Now, what was that coming out the side of it? Was that steam of some sort?
As we can see on the replay, we'll get a chance to look. Now that's just mud hitting those exhaust headers again. Like I said, it's the same as pouring water on a hot frying pan. It's just steam coming off the exhaust headers, completely airborne off the end of the pit. And the elapsed time, 2.70 seconds. That's good enough for the number 3 spot.